Folks, it's Wednesday. No, it's not. Wad brain. It's Tuesday. March the 15th. Feeling a little woozy here. It's a good one. It's a good one, guys. And look, let's just address something right off the bat. You're going to look at this one and you're going to see 3 rope climbs in a minute. Couldn't be me. And I know, but look, the thing is, there are some people here that can do that. And so they get a challenge too, right? So this is not unlike any other of these types of formatting WODs. This is our 3rd week in a row doing one like this where you scale that, you scale the volume, and that's fine. This is, as my night classes like to ask, a check the box type of workout, meaning I'm not writing anything on the whiteboard except the weights that you use for the back squat and the front squat. Other than that, I'm watching you do the workouts, but I'm not counting your reps. I know you're working hard. It's easy to see, but scale the volume if you have to today. So let's walk through it. First things first, this is the format that we are messing around with that involves weightlifting some on the same day that we're practicing doing a skill in the workout. Today's skill is rope climb. And as I mentioned, we have some people who are pretty advanced at it. They're gonna be able to get to 3 in a minute. For you, that might be 1 in a minute, and that's your obstacle, and that's really difficult, and we'll applaud that. And for you, it might be 2. For me, I could do the 3, but I'm not the best rope climber in the world, and so I had to turn it into a 20-second EMOM, basically. And that put me up against the 8 ball a little bit, and I don't know if it would have been sustainable for any more rounds. However, let's talk through the rest of it. So that's the rope climb, and we'll spend portions of class going through that skill. And in particular, what some of the options are for scaling it that aren't just peri pulls, although we will do peri pulls today. The next part, back squats. We've been doing these the last few weeks, so really you're gonna judge how much load you should use based on how you felt in the past couple of weeks. We did 5, we did then 7, we used different weights, different movements that were prior to the back squat. So today you have rope climb first, which doesn't use any of your back squat muscles really. So then you're pretty fresh on the back squat. 6 of them. So choose your weight accordingly. No matter what weight you choose, it should only take you 20 to 30 seconds. You should have a pretty nice rest before you go into the run. Now the run, let's talk about it. Hasn't been a lot of running outside in the last couple of months. And you know what? I've been thinking a lot about this. That's really a area of our program where Laura and I's bias comes into play. Any programming is going to have a little bit of bias towards the programmer. In years past, we have done more running outside when it was cold out. And we just didn't have the stomach for it this year. I don't know what it was. So we haven't done that in a while, and that's our fault. So today, and maybe all the time, 200 meters might feel like a lot to have to try to fit in 1 minute. I know it was taking me about 51 to 57 seconds, really, depending on the round. And how would we scale that? We have 2 options. Number 1, obviously distance, right? We'll just do 100 meters or 150 meters instead of 200, get it done, move on to the next thing. Or if you are comfortable with it, and I'm telling you right now, I'm comfortable with it, you can you can borrow from your front squat minute, meaning it's going to take you 1 minute and 20 seconds to do your run. As long as you come in and promise to get right back on that front squat and get that done in the allotted remainder of time, no harm, no foul, okay? It's only 3 front squats, so we think you can do it unless the run is really gonna crush you and take away from your front squats. But let's call it happy path. Let's say everything goes to plan. You're able to do your whatever distance in 1 minute. That front squat, just sort of a reintroduction to the movement. Now, it's a reintroduction doing the movement from the rig at a heavier load. We just haven't done that in a while, but it's not to say you haven't front squat in a while. You did. It was called a thruster though. We ended up putting it up overhead after our front squat. So today's not gonna be any different. In fact, you might feel stronger on the front squat today. Traditionally, people's 1 rep max front squat is lower than their back squat, which means today, even though the volume is lower, it might feel like just as much of a challenge as the back squat if you leave the load the same, which you don't have to. As long as within a reasonable amount of time, you can change plates off or on, do whatever you want for the back squat and the front squat. Can be different weights if you want them to be. I chose to use the same weight. I didn't need any other thing holding me back from getting a nice rest. So that's the front squat, and that's why we're doing it. After that, we have kettlebell swings, which are a typical movement for us, but 20 in a minute could be daunting to some. So what I would say is you're definitely choosing a load for that today that is one where you can do 20 in a minute and you feel pretty comfortable knowing that. I went into this workout thinking I'm going to do 10 and 10, like a quick rest in between to try to save my grip, which you need for the next movement or the start of the next round, which is rope climb. I ended up going unbroken in the first round, which was probably a huge mistake because you go unbroken once, you want to do it again and again and again. And so I ended up doing that unbroken the whole time, but at what cost? I felt like it impacted my rope climbs a little bit, and I should have been more cognizant of that. You have to decide who you are. This is the area, the two movement area of the workout where two things. Number one, grip strength gets taxed a little bit, so you're gonna have to make sure you're chalking up. Number two, this is the area of the workout where both movements might take you a bulk of the minute. Everything else today, no, the run too. The two back squats should afford you enough rest that you're constantly feeling like you're getting a little bit of a rest. It's the area of this workout that differs from yesterday's, where we did a mini EWOD, where we try to stay at about a similar heart rate, about a medium heart rate the whole time. This one is not like that. This one, you're intended to go up and down with these little rests at the end of our movement. And the question is, can you recover enough to go hard in that next minute for all 25 minutes of this workout? It's a hard one. It really is. And so you're going to get out of this one what you put into it. And like I said to start off, no shame in the modifying game today. We're just writing a check on the box. We're going to give you a smile. We're giving everybody a smiley face. So you do what makes this the most challenging for you, but we want it to be the best hour of your day. All right, enjoy.